Tell me how you felt when you found out Charlie was going to be disqualified.
At first, I didn't think he was going to be disqualified because I didn't know the severity of what happened. So we were scrambling to get the decks together. We were trying to build 3 decks within 20 minutes because we, had to borrow a lot of cards from people. And we were just hoping that nothing was going to happen. We just, built his deck for him or whatever. And then, out of nowhere, someone comes over. I think it was Brad Nelson came over. He's like, America's dead. And, my heart just sunk, First time on the national team, obviously. First time at Worlds, playing in the main events, and we had a chance to make money because Adam was doing relatively well. Me and Gindy would have been 3-3 if he just hadn't misrepresented the game state and took advantage of something his opponent just missed, and it was heartbreaking. I could have won a bunch of money. I'm not qualified for San Diego right now. I could have qualified for that. It's just it hurts a lot.
How do you feel towards Charlie about the situation?
Honestly, I can't say that I'm mad at him because stuff like that happens all the time, and it just goes under the radar, and no one ever gets penalized for it, or not openly, or not on this wide of a scale. And I'm probably guilty of doing similar things, just either it was just blatant ignorance. If something like that happens, if I know about it, I'll point it out. I'm not gonna sandbag or whatever. But I'm not mad at him. I can't really be mad. He's more mad at himself than I am. He lost a minimum of $22.50. $1,000 for teams and $12.50 for just showing up. He lost his appearance fee, and he was borrowing money to get here. So now he's just in debt to somebody. So he feels bad enough about himself. So I'm not gonna be mad at him. So
sure. How do you feel this will kind of impact your tournament or your trip overall?
It puts a sour image on the United States as a whole. The U.S. national champion is supposed to be the figurehead of Magic. It's because WotC is based out of the United States, and we have a really strong community full of really good players, and it's overall it hurts my tournament experience because I don't get to play in the team portion of Worlds, which I was really looking forward to it,
Sure.
And, Adam felt the same way. Adam was just, flipping out because of what happened, and neither of us thought, he was going to get DQ. We thought he was just going to get, a game loss or something, and, apparently, he was just blatantly, open about what happened, and he was like, yeah, I knew this was supposed to happen, and it just didn't, so... But.
Just for the record, do you feel that what Charlie did was malicious or intentionally shady, or do you feel it was just sort of an innocent misunderstanding?
From what I know is that it all happened with Master of the Wild Hunt, and his damage that he basically arenas all untapped wolves with target creature, and that creature deals this damage divided as the opponent chooses among your wolves, and he was under the impression that if your opponent just didn't assign damage, then it just dealt it positively in your favor. He had a 2/2 and a 3/3, and he killed a 2/2, and the 2/2 just didn't kill anything because the guy didn't know how Master of the Wild Hunt worked. But it was Gindy's job to maintain the game state by pointing out that it should have done 2 damage, and it had to assign it somewhere. And if he had pointed out to his opponent obviously would have killed the 2/2, and that would have mattered a lot in the game. So it's for the integrity of the game. It's really important that this happened, I think. But it really sucks, So, but it wasn't malicious. He wasn't I'm gonna cheat you on purpose because I want to win so badly. He was 2-3. A win is not gonna help us that much as a team. It's not gonna help him that much more to get towards the money. If he were playing for top 8 and that happened, I could see it as being a bit more malicious. But it's day 1 and he was 2-3. So.
Sure. Has your opinion of Charlie as a player changed at all?
No, I know he's a great player. Just watching him play, he almost always makes the best decision possible. He's a really nice guy, and just talking to him online all the time, play testing and whatnot. He's a pretty upstanding guy, and he just made a really bad decision, and a random game state screwed him over, and he thought it worked one way where he just got to basically do whatever he wanted, and he just that's not how it worked. So
sure. Do you have any final closing thoughts you'd want to share with readers at home on the situation or the tournament in general?
I mean, I guess basically at any level of the game, the integrity is the most important thing. Like, maintaining the game state is the most important thing you can possibly do at this high of a level in an event, because if you misrepresent the game state at all, like, you know, there are huge penalties on both sides, especially if it's like, you know, like on purpose. You know, if like, oh, my opponent sacked their fetch land, but they only pumped their GP one time when it's a triggered effect that has to happen. You know, you only took 3 damage because he said 3 as opposed to 5 when it's supposed to be 5. You know, like stuff like that. I mean, it happens all the time. You know, people just sort of brush it off, but I mean, it shouldn't. You know, like, I'm not saying like I'm the most upright, standing person in the world or whatever. You know, I've done my share of shady things, but you know, like I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to, you know, just make the best of what's been happening to me. So, you know, I mean, I hope that people learn from this mistake and they don't recreate it. So.
All right, thanks, man.